What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel where I talk and do everything pinball. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hit that subscribe button down below. Flipping machines for profit. It's a thing. Chances are you've done it yourself. Admit it. You've been scrolling through Craigslist or any other selling app, stumbled across a machine that was well underpriced, and you acted on it.
No way.
Let's say you end up getting the game. You have it. You have a couple of options here. One, you could just do a quick flip, increase the price on it to what it typically sells for, and make a profit. Or, you could take a chance, a little bit of a gamble, enhance the game, and make even more of a profit. Now, of course, there's a lot of variables that lie in here to deter whether or not you're going to choose one or two. I was recently in this decision tree and I wanted to share that project with all of you. Now, throughout the video, I will be dropping in some little knowledge nuggets, because it would seem that there are plenty of you out there that are still doing this wrong. Just because it's a pinball machine does not mean it's worth a fortune.
Hurricane. I think this is probably like my third one, and it's definitely not one that I need or slash even want in my collection. Even for the price that I got it for, it's not one that I want in my collection. It's not like it's a bad game or anything, but I don't know. It's just not a game that I greatly care about, that I feel that I need to have in my collection, but to each their own. I think it's a great starter game for a lot of people though. This has got a good amount of issues on it, hence why I was able to get it for the price that I did, including this bullshit right here. That sucks, but I'm gonna see what I can do about that. So I'm going to get it all set up, and we're going to go through this game to figure out what all is going to need to be done in order to give it a flip. Let's get started. So what I typically do when going over a game to figure out what I need is that I'll have either my notebook on my phone or a piece of paper and pencil, whatever, to write down anything that I'm going to need to buy. And right off the bat, I can already tell you I'm going to buy an all new leg bolt, because there's two different sizes, and instead of being standardized across the whole board. I think I have a collection here that I might be able to pick out to have them all the same, but I'm going to eventually do some powder coating and anything, so I'm just going to buy all new black ones. That's just going to be something I might have to add to the list, but let's go over the legs too.
All the legs have been painted.
Not powder coated. Painted. I don't know what kind of paint the individual used. Looks like it's going to be spray paint. Orangish, like a burnt orange to match whatever was done with the coin door as well. But gonna need all new leg levelers, and the legs should be salvageable, just need to be sandblasted and powder coated to a better color. But all four of those legs are like that. Like, whoever had this machine before me tightened the hell out of these legs. I mean, geez, that's really got a deep impression with these legs have been. They really bolted them down.
Before purchasing a game, you need to do your research. What does this game typically sell for? What parts are available? And what is the demand for this title? All these questions and more will really determine on what you should do and what your budget is. pardon the noise. I've got baby chicks over here that I'm having to babysit. So, aside from this trans light falling out like that, we're all set up and ready to go through the machine. Let's power her on and see what we got. Having a non-fully functioning display is definitely a price killer when it comes to selling your game. This is actually one of the reasons why I was able to get this game for so cheap. No DMD. Oh. So keep that in mind whenever you're trying to resell a game that you purchased, and one of the main reasons why the price was low was because of the bad display. So by improving or replacing the display with a fully functioning one, this will increase your chances of a higher profit. Luckily, I have a reserve stock of DMDs on hand, but I know this will not be the case for most of you out there. Looks like we're starting to get a DMD. Looks like a DMD that has to warm up. So this thing's evidently outgassing more than likely. It's starting to become more and more visible the longer it stays on. So this is an outgassed DMD more than likely. That's what I'm going to lean towards. I'm going to put another one in there and see if I get the same thing, but I probably doubt it. But it's also telling me that my factory settings have been restored, which tells me that the batteries are dead or there's no connectivity to the battery. So let's get out of that and get into the actual game. Alright, so time and date not set is the only error that I'm getting on my credit dot. So that's good. Try to find a ball. So as you can see, the DMD is fully lit, but we're still missing a lot of stuff here. Like I said, it's outgassing, and you don't want to have this thing going for too long because you're actually putting a little more stress on your power supply. So I'm actually going to try to get this resolved right now to see if it is in fact the DMD or we've got a high voltage issue. I've got a bunch of DMDs here at the house. We're going to go through all of these and see if we, one, find one that works, or two, if I get the same effect on every single one of them. So let's start that. Alright, so one of the issues was that we did not have factory settings or whatever going. So, I mean, I don't have any battery damage on here, but chances are the contacts on the batteries pack area is probably bad or a bad solder connection, but the board itself looks to be okay. So, alright, let's power this thing off, swap out these DMDs and see what we get. So this one lights up all the way. Or at least it's not as dim as... Yeah. But... yeah. It's better than that one. But let me see what the other ones I got do, just out of curiosity. So this one even makes a little bit of buzzing sound. And it's also missing some stuff. This one says dead as a hammer. I wonder what that means.
It means that this damn thing doesn't work at all!
This one looks like it's already got a... Alright, so this one's pretty good. We may have a winner, folks. This one looks pretty good. Alright, so we have a wiener. I'll replace out the DMD that's currently in here with this one right here. And then we're going to move on. Alright, I pulled the MPU, I've taken out the batteries, and the issue is that these little contacts that are on the battery pack have basically just fallen off. When I pulled the batteries out, they came out too. So I'm just going to remove this one, put another one on there, and then that should be no problem, and that problem should be fixed. The back of the board looks good. Every other component on here looks pretty damn good, so no concerns right there. Luckily, these right here are already in sockets. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get this old battery pack off and put a new one on there. When purchasing a game, you need to obviously check for any possible battery damage because these machines these days have often been neglected over the years, and having a damaged MPU is going to be very expensive depending on the system, of course. A new typical WPC board is around about $160, and that is only if you already have the game ROMs and the CPU. Alright. Old batteries out, got new battery pack, new batteries. Now we're going to test to see if it's working. So, way to do that, get out the voltmeter, put the black lead on the ground down here, positive lead up here, and I'm getting 5 volts. So there is continuity all the way up through there. So that should be good. So now it'll air out one more time, and then I can set the date and time, and then we should be good to go. No more credit dot, nothing like that. So let's try it out. Alright, so after a reboot, we're getting this again. Test report, time and date not set. Date and time are now set. The issue now is that it's not seeing a ball somewhere. We'll get there in just a minute. Let's power it off, and let's power it on to make sure that we don't have a credit dot. Yay! So that's been resolved. So what we've accomplished so far is working DMD. Fix the battery portion on the MPU, so now we're able to store high scores, settings, and date and time. No credit dots, boots up, no issues. So when it comes to back here, I think we're going to be okay. Famous last words, right? Let's move on to in here. So one of the things I'm noting as I'm starting to take things apart is things that need to be replaced, obviously. And the channel above here is completely broken off, so that channel needs to be replaced. I want to say I still have one somewhere around here that I pulled off my getaway that had just a little bit of a chip, but overall it was still going to be very usable. I'll see if I can find that, but let's get this glass off. Question is, where is the missing ball? I think I found it. Found a couple of them. What a bloomin' mess. Well, they got a LED kit from CoinTaker. These are the missing portions to the DMD, so I'm glad I found those. A couple of 4-amp fuses, a flipper bat to replace the other flipper bat that's a different color. Let's see here. The tilt switch has been deactivated for whatever reason. Let's see if it works. Not only was the cabinet tilt disabled, the interlock for the coin door was also completely missing. Yep. I had to replace that. Tilt cabinet works. Ferris wheels are spinning around. Two pinballs. Let's get one in here. I'm going to keep this one out. I'm not sure how many balls are in there right now. Alright. Translite channel that's missing. Alright, we're going to have to lift this thing further up. So, for whatever reason, this board to the Ferris wheel is not mounted. I don't know why. That looks like it's just been... Okay, I see why. The portions that hold on to it have been broken off. Okay, so I'll replace those. I'm not seeing any issues. Looks like the pulley systems are still intact for the Ferris wheel. The board for the Ferris wheel seems to be in okay condition. I'm just gonna make sure that that's fully functional. It's got LEDs throughout, so that's a plus. That's one less thing that I had to deal with. But we're gonna make sure all is well with the optos for the drop targets. I'm not seeing any burnt wires. That's a little sluggish. Sluggish but doable right now. So I laugh because this slingshot will not work because it's broken right there. Let me get the camera over here so I can show you. So you can see it right here. That's completely severed.
I was able to pull from my reserve stock, so no money out of pocket for this repair.
So that's going to need to be fixed. This is not what you would see in the bottom of a cabinet. This is some sort of a foam adhesive thing that they've utilized to keep the bottom of the cabinet in its place with a 2x4, some wood screws going to the side of the cabinet, and from up and underneath on this side and on this side. That's something that'll have to be dealt with. But I'm not going to build an all new bottom of the cabinet or anything like that. People are just going to have to be content with the fact that the cabinet is not perfect, but it should be solidly sound enough to where someone can enjoy this game. And now we should be able to start a game.
Hurry, 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 step right this way.
So I'm noticing that my Ferris wheels are kind of not running consistently. That was a horrible game. So one thing that the person's done is that he's gotten the wire forms powder coated. A nice pretty red. I mean, this red would actually look really good in my getaway, but I don't feel like it goes well with the rest of the game. Should have gone with a different tone in my opinion. Maybe like an orange or a lime green, or hell, just lime. I mean, almost any color. It's definitely going to be something that requires a little spit polish on here to get it to look somewhat decent. I'm glad I got it at a good price. Next thing to do is to disassemble, clean, polish, put all back together again. Alright, so I've basically done a bare teardown. This is a little bit more than bare teardown. But got it to where I'm able to access everything on the playfield and get a good idea of what all is going to need to be done. I'm going to get new rubbers. I don't like the color scheme that this person has gone with. I'm going to get all new star posts. I like to go with the clear so light is able to refract a lot better. The GI that the individual used is not the best type for it. This was good frosted. This is good. This is what you actually need. These are more for inserts. This is not for GI. So these are going to need to be replaced. I'll do white frosted throughout the game to really bring these colors out. I've done a real quick, just kind of a overpaint and scraping. I say scrubbing with naphtha and microfiber, just to get a good idea of how much I'm going to have to do on the play field. There, surprisingly enough, with this being a diamond plate field, there is some wear areas in certain little spots, but overall, not too bad, but obviously not perfect. In the process of disassembling all this over here to get all these Ferris wheels all cleaned up. And that's where I'm at on that. And for whatever reason, they've got a white and a yellow one here, and they had a white and a yellow one underneath the game. I'm not sure if that was just to make things more clown-like or what. But I do like the way yellow looks with this game. So I think I might go both yellow. And I'm debating on doing powder coating for this game, because they've already got the lockdown bar painted, not powder coated. I'm not sure what kind of paint this is. It's not too bad, but it's not ideal. And I got everything else also that was powder coated off over here on the table, like the puller rod assembly, some of these things. I mean, he even had just these little portions right here powder coated. It's just the color of red does not go with the game. I don't know why they chose that particular color. Anyways, that is where we are at on this tear down and clean. This was like completely nasty. I've taken the trough assembly all apart and everything. We're gonna get all this stuff clean and get her looking a lot better and working a lot better than what she would have. And all these rubbers back here have never been replaced or touched, probably because they're so difficult to get a hold of. And for whatever reason, these look, I'm guessing these are super bands, but they pulled them down over the damn base of the so yeah, I don't know what, don't get me started. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and work continues. Playfield has been removed. So that's a big chunk of this that's out of my way. So that gives me more access to get this all cleaned out. Get some new matrices printed out and installed. Get this cleaned up, make it a little more aesthetically pleasing in here. This is just, ugh. I might go ahead, no, well, I don't know. The speakers are relatively cheap. I'll look into it. They're only about 10 bucks. I'll see if I can get another one in here just to make it a little more pleasing to the eye. It works just fine. It's plenty loud. So that's where I'm at on this. I've got the playfield completely pretty much disassembled now. Let me get the camera over so you can see. This is where the playfield's at now. So that gives me complete access to everything for the correct LEDs, getting all this cleaned up. Got some other ideas in place. We'll see what happens when I get there. Some airbrushing and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. I've got the cabinet cleaned out, wiped down and everything. I've cleaned this up to an extent. I mean, yeah, it looks better than what it did. It's not perfect, but I mean, yeah, I could paint it, but I'm just putting lipstick on a pig. I mean, I'm not trying to hide anything, and it's one of those things where no one's really going to see that anyways unless they open up the cabinet. Because, trust me, I really thought about painting. I was like, oh, let's paint the entire interior black. And I was like, doesn't really need it. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's not pretty, but it's better than what it was. Got the lockdown receiver dismantled and taken off, the coin doors off, all the accessories are down there, so that way I know where to get them. I'm going to be taking the legs off, maybe the side rails. I'm just saying, if you're going to do any kind of powder coating, you need to do the side rails and your hinges too. So, since I'm going to do the powder coating to help doll this thing up a little bit and undo what has been done, I might as well do it right. So I'm going to be doing a repowder coat for the hinges and everything, my typical fashion that I tend to do with a black coin door. And as far as what color I'm going to do, I honestly don't have a major problem with this, with the orange. I just don't know about this shade of it. I might go with a different shade. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some photoshopping to figure out what works best. Because I've also got to take into account that the cabinet art is faded, and if the potential buyer wants to, you know, so I might do like this orange right here, a little bit more of a lighter orange. I think that would go pretty good with it. And I'm thinking that's probably what he might have been trying to go for. I mean, the camera's picking this up as orange, but this is more of a red. Not doing much with the exterior of the cabinet. You don't play the cabinet, you play the machine, so I'm trying to do more effort into that. And if anybody wants to, then yeah, they could throw money at it and put some new decals on here, and cosmetically it would look pretty dang good. I'm going to take this off, clean this. Should just have to wipe this area down up here. I'll see if I can remove this stuff and then get some new ones printed up. Yep. This is pretty far gone when it comes to being white. I mean, I'll clean it up obviously, but as far as, you know, looking brand spanking new, that's not going to be able to happen with this day and age unless I buy a new one. And I think the last time I looked, they were like 80 bucks, but they were also out of stock. So, moving on to that, that's where we're at. And get a better look at the playfield right here, if I can. Yeah, probably bring this inside, tinker with it tonight, get it all cleaned up some more. Shut up, you damn chickens. Jesus. Alright. Project out there. I have got all my stuff in from Titan Pinball. And I've got all my stuff in from Comet. Your primary objective is to sell this game. So when lighting this machine with LEDs, you don't want to have it too custom. You don't want it to have like, oh, I thought it looked really cool with blue lights right here and looked really cool with reds over here. You don't want that. You're going to shy away the potential buyers. The objective here is to be safe, but visually appealing. And to get that effect, you do cool whites. Cool whites throughout the game will give all the individuals out there the ability to see what the game looks like. And if they want it to be more custom and change up colors, they can do that themselves. You're trying to cater to the masses. Cool white is your safest bet. So that means we can do posts, rubbers, and LEDs. Now, I'm going to check the mail here pretty soon, and we're going to see if I've got my shipment from Marco, because that's what's really going to escalate this. I have got flipper bats now officially matching. This is the weird thing, is that there was a set of whites and a set of yellows in there, and there was one white, one yellow on there. It just looked ridiculous. I think the yellow looks pretty good for this game. So what I've done is changed out all the star posts as well. We've got a kind of a yellow and orange and clear star post theme going here with gray rubbers and orange flipper bats and posts that I got through Titan Pinball. Now, when it comes to where I've got clears, a lot of the times where I've got clears are where light can shine through onto the playfield. And we've got the correct LEDs for GI in here now. I have begun the putting the machine back together again. I got this cleaned up back here, the correct LEDs installed on that. I need to remove this and see if there's LEDs behind there. With what I've seen so far in this game, it would not surprise me if those are still incandescents. But I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, still waiting on things to get back from the powder coater. Hopefully that might be ready for tomorrow. This is all cleaned up. This had a bunch of sticker residue on there, so that is all cleaned up. And yeah, gonna start getting all this stuff cleaned up and everything, getting it back into the machine. But I may only get so far when I don't have my powder coated items. I don't know. We'll see how far I get. I've still got the Ferris wheel assembly over here that I got to get cleaned up and then put back in there. And I got to deal with these stupid chickens. Oh, I cannot wait for you bastards to be gone. Oh my goodness. I think they're sleeping. They're asleep. Finally. Some peace and quiet. Anyways, I wanted to point out something that I do, and that is just really clean the hell out of the trough area. This was pretty nasty. I had to like sand this down to where it's nice and smooth and clean. Dirty trough is the fastest and best way to make it to where this tears up the balls in the game. And that's where we're going on that. Gonna continue building this up, and then we'll be able to get the apron back on. And then I need to get these taken off and cleaned up. That's nasty. Got the Ferris wheel installed, cleaned up, and the back ramp right there done. Working on the juggler now. Now, this is something that, I'm going to be nitpicky here. But and the thing is, obviously, back in the day, you only had incandescent, so that's what you got. But now we've got a better option for LEDs for situations like this, where you want the LED to go inside there and really illuminate that. And that's where these flex bulbs come in, available through Comet. So I'm going to be using those for that. And this is further evidence that I believe that topper up there's probably got incandescence in it, because in order to change these, it requires a little maneuvering, a little effort, you know, so yeah. Still, all right, go ahead and take a bet. I haven't looked yet, but take a bet now. If there is incandescents or LEDs in that topper. I honestly do not know yet. We're gonna find out. Now I'm taking a gamble here. I do not typically do powder coating for machines that I'm going to sell, but the reason why I did this was to repair the damages that the previous owner had done to the machine. I say damages because it wasn't good. Now that is definitely going to be a portion of profits taken out by using that money to put on powder coating, but this custom work actually gives me the ability to sell this game faster, and I had enough room in my budget to do so. As per usual, lockdown bar receiver decal available through Titan Pinball. Money I bought the getaway.
What kind of throw is that?
Now I'm done. Right? No, I'm not. I mistakenly assumed that everything was fully functioning. It turns out during the test plays, I came to realize that the knocker wasn't functioning. Now, granted, the knocker isn't really essential to gameplay and can usually work and just be just fine without, but having something not working that should be gives the potential buyer a little bit more room to chew you down on your potential profit. So let's go through it and see what the problem is. We're gonna see if we can do some troubleshooting on why this knocker is not working. Alright, let's see if we can diagnose in real time this knocker issue. Alright. So let's try at the knocker itself just to see if the solenoid works. That's grounded. Okay. So the coil works. Now the driver for the knocker is Q67. So we'll ground that. Okay, so with tip 102 being grounded, firing the coil, that tells me that the wiring and transistors are good. Just now it seems like it's more logic. It's not being told to ground to make that thing fire. Now we're gonna try the corresponding chip is U5. And before I go trying to replace that, I'm going to try and check this ribbon cable, and then I'm going to actually try swapping out a known good MPU board to deter if it's a board or ribbon cable down to logic on my driver board. So, pardon the stupid chickens over here. Let me take this ribbon cable out. I don't see anything wrong with it. But I'm just going to flip it over to see if I still get the same issue. Technically, either I should have a different issue or the issue should be gone. And knocker is still not working, so that tells me that it's not the ribbon cable. Let's try swapping out the MPU with a known good one and seeing if that resolves the issue. Alright, so I have swapped out the MPU, and I'm going to see if that fixes the knocker problem. So, it's not the MPU. It's still wanting to do violet black and violet yellow, but it's not. Oh, stop it. Where'd the knocker go? Yep, even with the interlock pushed in just to make sure. Still no knocker coil. So that tells me it is my solenoid driver board. You know, and just to be even more safe, I'm gonna go ahead and take the ribbon cable out of my other one in there and put it in here just to make sure that it's not the ribbon cable, even by just flipping it around. We're gonna do that real quick. It is my driver board. Damn it. Alright, now the game is 100% working. What the hell? Where's all the troubleshooting to figure out what was the cause of this one, Cary? Oh, of course, you didn't want to film all the issues that you had dealing with that bullshit, didn't you? No, you didn't want to do that. No, guys, sadly, I did not record all of the issues that I was having to deal with on this board. Now, this is where things can get expensive if you are not very savvy with the soldering iron as well as reading schematics. Sometimes you could send the board out for repair. That takes weeks, as well as at least $100. That's including the shipping and everything. So you're looking at least $100 on repairs for a board that could be as simple as only a couple of bucks in parts. Now, this is where I had to backtrack basically from the coil through the board to figure out what was going on. And the issue that I don't go into full detail in the video as of right here is that I had a leaky transistor, tip 102, and I had a bad 20N5041. Now, I say that the transistors were good earlier,
but that was not including my pre-driver, which was the issue. Let's go over the issues that we had dealing with this. We had a bad tip 102, bad 2N5041. Then we have a bad GI connector right here. This is just horrible. I'm gonna redo this connection. Don't even get me started. It's not solid. GI's going off and on. It's not good. And then I had a very puzzling issue that it took me a while, and it was very, very aggravating actually. And it was this little bitty wire right here, little bitty 12-volt wire, was back behind here and nestled up behind here. And I guess it came out at one point whenever I was pulling the solenoid board out, and I was losing my voltage to where my Ferris wheel would not work. So that was very puzzling to where I'm like, why is that not working? It should be working. I didn't take anything off to where it wouldn't work. What the hell? And I was like, why am I not getting voltage to my relay board for it? And then I had to trace the wire back, and I'm like, I'm missing my 12 volts. And it was there. Very aggravating. So once I got that in there, everything was good to go. Knocker works like it's supposed to. So now all I need to do is I'm going to rebuild this GI connection to make it solid, and insert this wire here correctly so it's not going to go anywhere, and do a final wipe down, and this thing will be ready to go. All right. Got us a new connector on rewired installed for GI. As a matter of fact, I did J20, was that 121? Yeah, 121 as well, because that one was being real flaky as well. So I've replaced both of those connectors, and all of my GI is now nice, bright, and shiny. So we're gonna play some games on this thing, make sure it's ready to go out the door. And I still need to check up there to see if those are LEDs. It's killing me. I need to, you know what? Let's figure out what that is. I haven't unlocked it yet, but upon further inspection, I can see that we've got security bits, not like your regular rigmarole Phillips screwdrivers or anything like that. So I'm almost wanting to guarantee that these are incandescents. I don't know. I thought that was oh, we got a color changer in there. Snap. So he might have actually gotten in here and put LEDs in here, probably from up underneath. All right, let's bust out the security bits and get this thing open. All right, upon further inspection, I'm pretty sure someone's gotten in here in the past, because this corner's broken off, that corner's broken off, and then back here is broken as well. I'm thinking that someone has, at some point in time, kind of just done what I'm going to attempt to do right now to get back there without having to undo these security bits. And I don't want to have to do that, but I'm just saying that's probably what they did. I was gonna make an attempt, but that was probably at a time where, you know what? I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it. I'm just gonna security bits these things off, and then we're gonna take it off. Well, and this is what we got going on. Looks like this is, they went with the was not expecting this, that's for damn sure. This one looks like it might be burnt out. They got some color changers and some missing bulbs right here. And these might be burnt out as well. Alright, quick way to test that. Oh, okay, there we go. So that one works. That one works too. All right, chances are these all work. I'm taking these damn color changers out of here though. We're putting some cool whites in there, as well as whatever the fudge this is. Taking this shit off. And then we can be done with it. Throw this snazzy stuff away. I will keep these color changers for a rainy day though. There we go. LEDs all working. I'm out of wedge flashers. So this guy's gonna have to deal with, or whoever wants is gonna have to deal with just incandescent flashers up here. I'm also going to input regular Phillips screws back into this thing instead of these security bits for the easiness for future potential owners to be able to maintenance this machine. All right, let's get her back together. Game up online for sale and I had a buyer in 7 hours. I was able to sell a player's condition Hurricane for more than a typical Hurricane in better condition would sell for, which isn't completely surprising because the game actually looks pretty good. Now the powder coating was a gamble, but I had to do it to repair the custom job that the previous owner had done. But I believe by doing this, it really enticed the individuals to really go after this game. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Do you have your own flip stories? Tell me in the comments section down below. If you haven't already, be sure to give me that thumbs up and please subscribe. That way you can be notified of whenever I upload something for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, guys, peace out.